Hello and welcome to another video from Artist Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we are looking at something that's, well, it's not altogether that old. It is incredibly collectible and becoming harder and harder to find, especially in this mint unopened condition. As I say, it's not very old. It's only about 4 years old, but it is an absolutely awesome item, and it is based on the vintage television series Space 1999. What we are looking at today is the 1612 release from their Moonbase Alpha series of miniature models, and this particular one we're looking at today is of the V.I.P Eagle as it appeared in the Space 1999 television series. Now, as we all know, Space 1999 was a British science fiction television series that ran for 2 series from 1975 through to 1977. In the very first episode, it was set in the year 1999, and in that year, nuclear waste was being stored on the dark side of the moon, and that nuclear waste became unstable and exploded, and it knocked the moon out of orbit, sending it and the inhabitants, well, I think 311, hurtling uncontrollably into space. And the whole 2 seasons was all based on them pretty much traveling through space, coming up to planets that they were looking at to try and find a new home. It was the final partnership between the production team of Gerry and Sylvia Anderson, and it was the most expensive series produced for British television. It had a combined budget of £6.8 million. And well, the first series was co-produced by ITC Entertainment and the Italian company RAI, and the second was produced solely by ITC Entertainment. Some of the crew from the first season returned for the second season. So in the likes of, in the first season, you had Martin Landau and Barbara Bain, the husband and wife team, also known from Mission Impossible. They were in both seasons. Barry Morse, who was Professor Victor Bergman, he was in the first season, as was Prentice Hancock, who was second in command of Moonbase Alpha in season 1. He's also well known for being in the Doctor Who, a lot of different Doctor Who episodes back in the 1970s. Nick Tate, who was Captain Alan Carter, he was in both seasons, as well as Zena Merton, who played Sandra Baines. Also in season 2, Catherine Schell joined the cast as the shape-shifting Maya, and also Tony Anholt, who was the second in command for season 2, playing Tony Vendeshi. Okay, let's not digress any further, because this item is absolutely awesome and I want to get into it. So this is the packet it comes in, and it says Space 1999 V.I.P Eagle, and at the bottom it's got featuring retractable pod and aluminium engine bells. It says 14 plus, and you've got the ITV logo on the bottom right hand corner. Okay, that's the front of the card. Let's turn it around and see what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I've turned the card around to the back, and this is what we've got on the back. So you've got the Alpha Moonbase logo on the top right hand corner, and it says VIP Eagle, and there you can see an image of the VIP Eagle just taken off from Moonbase Alpha. And it says, unique to Earth's fleet of Eagles, these deluxe transporters feature passenger pods denoted by their distinct orange livery. Unofficially referred to as the VIP Eagle, these luxurious passenger pods are used exclusively for transport of dignitaries and delegates between conferences and official engagements. 1612 Collectibles is proud to present this highly detailed replica featuring detachable pod and real aluminium engine bells. And it's dedicated to the inspiration and memory of Gerry Anderson and Sylvia Anderson. It says Space 1999. For more exciting collectibles, visit www.1612.com. You've got the CE markings, 1612 Collectibles Limited, and their address when they were in Glastonbury. Not suitable for children under 3 years old. You've got the 1612 logo, the ITV Studios logo, and you've got the copyright and licensing information at the very bottom. And it's item number ALP5, Alpha 5 in the Alpha Moonbase series of miniature models. Okay, so that's the back of the card. What I want to do now is I want to turn the card around. I'm going to see if I can open the card and take out the eagle and the pod and see if we can have a good look at it outside of the packet. Okay, so I've removed the contents from the packet, and this is what we got. So we've got the actual eagle body, and it is a very, very detailed body, lovely looking model. And we've also got the V.I.P pod with the orange markings on the pod, and we then of course have the Moonbase moonbuggy, which we saw in quite a few episodes of Space 1999, and they used that when they was going around the dark side of the moon, where the waste disposal was, the nuclear waste. Okay. Now, before we have a look at the detailing, I just want to measure these items so you can see the size, because they are micro size. So the moon buggy is 1 centimetre in length by 0.5 centimetre in width, and height-wise, it is also 0.5 centimetre. So very, very tiny moon buggy, but it is in scale with the models here. Okay, so the pod, again, looking beautiful. If I measure from the widest point, we are looking at 5 centimetres. That's measuring from the clips as well, so from one clip to the other. If we measure the widest part of the width, we're looking at 2.5 centimetres. And if we measure from the bottom of the landing pad to the top of the pod, again, we're looking at 1.75 centimetres. So very, very small in comparison to what we're normally used to. And then we come across the eagle body itself. And if we measure the actual length of the eagle from nose to back of the engine bells, you can see we are at 12.5 centimetres. If we measure the widest part, which is across the landing pads, we're at 5.5 centimetres. And if we measure the height, we're going to measure from the bottom of the foot to the top of the cross member, and that's 3 centimetres. So that gives you an idea of the size, yeah, or basically the size and its scale. Okay, first of all, let's have a look at the moonbuggy. Let's zoom in on this and have a good look. And there we can see it's just like the moonbuggies, the larger versions that we've seen produced by 1612 that come with the 12-inch scale models, and also the larger one that came with the Alan Carter figure. So it's exactly the same as that, but on a much, much smaller scale. As you can see the size of my fingertip, and it sits quite comfortably on my fingernail. So there we go, that's an idea of the size. But for the size of it, it's very detailed. There's some great detailing. If I can hold my finger still, there we go. So there's some great detailing on the actual model itself. For such a tiny item, the detailing is very, very good. As I'm trying to support it on my finger now without dropping it. So there we are. So that is the buggy. Now the pod, again, it's all plastic. It's not, none of this is metal. I think perhaps maybe, no, all of these are plastic. So there's no, I thought maybe they were aluminium. They might actually be aluminium, in actual fact. So the boosters at the bottom appear to be aluminium, the same as the rockets, the booster rockets at the back of the Eagle. But the rest of it is all plastic. You've got the windows at the top, as you have. and that would be the door entrance. Even though it's all closed, it doesn't open. The feet, there's 4 feet on the bottom, the landing feet, and then you've got the 2 lugs. So if you press the lug in, you can see that the catch moves back, and that's on both sides, and that's how you attach it into the Eagle, which I will show you in a moment. But let's now have a look at the Eagle itself, because it is absolutely beautiful, designed with an amazing amount of detailing. I mean, just look at the detailing on that. I mean, it's exactly like the larger models. The detailing is so amazingly done. It is just so incredible. Really, really does look the part. I'm so impressed with these micro Eagles. I think they're just absolutely fantastic. And it's such a shame that 1612 no longer produce these smaller models. They only do the studio scale ones now, which are limited, usually about 100 pieces at a time, and they're huge, and unfortunately we don't have room for them. So but the engines there, those back engine bells, are aluminium. As you can just about see that, but the rest of the model is all plastic. No sprung feet either, but now I don't think any of the 1612 or the Product Enterprise ones come to that had sprung feet. I think it was just the Disney ones that were the dinky ones, I should say, that had the sprung feet. But the detailing on the whole of the model, the cross members, the markings, the stickers, everything is so perfectly detailed. It is absolutely incredible model. And if we take the pod, and the pod just literally, so you've got these tags there, and you've got these 2 slots in the Eagle, and they go into there, and as you lock it into place, as that's sitting inside now, and that is inside the Eagle, and there it is traveling. There we go. I hope you enjoyed the sound effects. So yeah, I mean, it looks absolutely amazing. I mean, it looks good without the pod, but with the pod it does look absolutely incredible. Really, really nice. Easy to take off again. You just press the I'll say it's easy, but you've got to get your finger in there to press down on the lever so that it comes out. I think the easiest thing to do is probably just to bend the body back a little bit to take it out, because of the trying to get your finger in there. If you've got big fingers like me, you're going to struggle to get your finger in to open the catch. But there we go. Oops, I'm not in straight. There we go. And there we have the pod back into position. Oh, now we have the pod back into position. But an absolutely outstanding model. And I've got to say, if you were looking at that model and you had no idea of that it's a micro one, you could very easily be forgiven to think that was the normal 12-inch model that you would see from 1612, because the detailing is just absolutely fantastic for a micro model. Every angle you look at it, it is just absolutely phenomenal. And without knowing the scale of this model, say looking at it on a zoomed in camera, you would never know that it's just a micro model. So the detailing and the quality of this item is absolutely outstanding. I'm a big fan of these, the 1612 models. I think they're absolutely superb. The quality and detailing are absolutely out of this world on every single one of the models that they've produced. And these, I wasn't expecting these micro ones to be as good, but they are absolutely fantastic. Now, there was 5 micro ships produced in this series, together with the actual Moonbase landing pad. Now, we do have all of them available in stock. and we will be shooting videos on all of them. And stay tuned, because we've got a marvelous video coming up of the actual Moonbase Alpha landing pad, which is electronic with lights and sounds from the TV show. So keep watching for that. But this back onto these Micro Eagles. As I say, there was 5 altogether. So there was the Rescue Eagle, there was the V.I.P Eagle, which is this one. There was a Laboratory Eagle and the Eagle Freighter, plus the Eagle Transporter, which came with the Moonbase Alpha landing pad. Okay, now you're going to ask me how well these done back in 2021. Well, as with most of the models that 1612 produced, they were on pre-order. So you would order them, as I did, probably about 18 months before they actually arrived. So they were still actually designing and trying to make them right before when we particularly, or I particularly, ordered them. Yeah, it was a long time in coming, but you can understand why when you're looking at the detailing of these models and think these are absolutely fantastic. Absolutely brilliant is a understated word, really, for these models. But I think they produced a fair quantity of these, but I don't think they got the pre-orders that they was expecting for the quantity that they had to produce. So consequently, they didn't all get sold prior to them coming in, which on the early models, they were all sold out before they arrived at 1612. So these were in stock for 1612 for a while, until they decided that they was going to move away from the general models and just concentrate on the studio scale models, which are the 3-foot ones. Yep, and so that was it, really. The whole series of models with 1612 have come to an end. Whatever is now available on the platforms or anywhere, any shops, any internet outlets, anywhere, it's the last of them. Once they're gone, they're gone. There will not be any more, because they're not producing any more of these models ever. So not only were they limited edition collectibles, but they were the end of the company as far as the smaller models were concerned. So let's move forward then to that's only 4 years on to 2025, which is where we are today. Do these come up for sale on the platforms very often? The answer to that is no, not really. But then I'm guessing that's because most people that bought them off of 1612 would have wanted them for their own collection. I certainly did. When I bought mine, it was for my own collection, and I've got those tucked away in my collection. Yeah, I mean, they just don't really appear. You do see the odd one or two come up on the platforms. Obviously, most of them are still in the sealed packs, as this one is, because it's still relatively new. I have seen one or two loose ones on the platforms, but a majority of what you see when they do come up are sealed in the packs, as are ours, as this one was before I opened it to demonstrate it to you. So yes, they do pop up occasionally on the platforms, and yes, they usually are in the same condition as what we are offering. Now, the ones we have, we were fortunate enough to buy out a shop that was closing down. They closed over the COVID period, come back, couldn't really make it work when they come back, and decided to retire, and they've been going from the 1960s. So they asked us if we was interested in buying out all their stock, which we went, and we done a deal with them, and we bought everything from their shop front to their stock room, and there was quite a few of the 1612 models on their shop front. There must have been probably about 4 or 5 of each of the mini Eagles, and about 4 or 5, maybe 3 or 4 of the landing platforms. So all of those items we were fortunate enough to secure, and we are now offering those to our customers on the Midas Touch website. And you can get to the Midas Touch website very simply by clicking the link below, and it will take you straight there, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Gerry Anderson items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you are looking for, something old that you never know how to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful micro V.I.P Eagle with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.